On The Rocks.
1, 2, 3,
Cheers.
4.
Good to see you. It's been what, like over 6 months?
Over that, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
How you been?
You know, it's been an interesting beginning of the year.
Well,
Let me
being the
just put
fire?
it that way. Well, the fire, and I've had.
We were rolling, by the way. You know
Oh
that.
yeah,
And this is very casual.
I figured.
right? So we can relax and
Yeah,
and have a drink and chat if we
I
can.
love to chat.
Yeah,
love to
I know you
chat.
do.
So is that why I'm here?
No,
Well-
so you've been working or because everything
I-
stopped.
Everything stopped,
Yeah.
and I was supposed to start over on a movie that
Oh,
was
wow.
pushed due to the fire, and then I got in a text message letting me know that one of the producers and writers passed away.
What?
The memorial was yesterday.
Oh, because of the fire?
No,
Oh,
she
separately?
was sick. I had no idea because there was a premiere last year. She seemed
Really?
just, she has 2 kids. It's her and her husband's
Was she
company.
old? Or?
She's 40 something.
Man.
And she is so wonderful at what she does, and she looked vibrant.
Mm.
So when I heard it, I said, "This can't be true."
Mm.
And the memorial was
Yesterday.
yesterday.
But you look vibrant.
Thank you. I know I look very different.
No,
from
because
when we were on set.
yeah. So when was that? When was that? Like last summer, right?
Was it June?
I think so, because it was really hot.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And we were shooting on the set of Paradise.
Right.
Just happens to just been released, right?
I
Like
know.
Yesterday or
I
something
know.
like that?
Have you watched it?
I did the first episode.
Okay.
The first 1.5, I think. Did
Okay. I watched the first episode yesterday.
you? And?
Well, it was very interesting.
And your significant other is involved in it. Am I allowed to say that?
You can say that. You could say
Your husband.
very
Yes.
yeah, but
Okay.
he's probably. I mean, if there is a second season, he's probably not gonna be back with the show. I
Wow.
don't think. But we don't
Is
know.
he not
we don't
into
know.
it or?
No, it's not that. It's almost like, the people, I guess, that were on there
Yeah.
are people that have worked together for a very long
From
time.
This Is Us, right?
From This Is
Wasn't your
Us.
husband? No.
No, he was
So
not
he
on
was the
This
first
Is Us.
AD on it, right?
He was
Or-
the first AD on the additional first AD on this.
Paradise,
but
yeah.
but he hadn't worked for a very long time when he
Mm.
got this gig
Mm.
due to spine surgery
Oh my
the year
God.
before.
Really?
So we won't. But that's
We're not
really
gonna get
sad
into
stuff.
that.
We're not going to talk about all that. Let's talk about
Okay,
some happy
but
stuff.
why were you making that a secret on the set?
I never I haven't worked with him on. I've worked with him on a few things.
Yeah.
But I just like to keep it separate.
Right.
I'm here doing my thing, you're here doing your thing, and I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. Sometimes, maybe the hair and makeup people feel like they have to, and I don't want people feeling like that. I'm
Okay.
just another person doing my job.
Right.
So I
right.
tend to.
Does it bother you at all as an actress, like preparing for the role or, preparing for the shot, and your husband's right there?
No, I'm going to be completely.
You have to be completely honest.
I rather. And I love my husband. I think he's a brilliant first AD, but I rather not work with him.
Okay.
And the reason is, it's almost like when you're working with someone you really care about, you're so self-conscious. You want to represent them in the best light. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So you're kind of nervous,
And selfish, like you're into yourself. You want your world, right? I mean, I sometimes I wanna, like on the set of Paradise, we were goofing off the whole time.
Oh man, you would think we were working on a comedy,
Yeah.
and
We
it
were,
wasn't. But it was just. But see, now I have to turn the tables on him for
Okay.
a minute.
What up?
So. Some actors, when they get like the call sheet, they look to see who. I tend not to do that for some reason. It's just I want to
Wait,
just meet
Who
people.
are you talking to? The audience?
Talking to you. I'm
okay,
sorry.
cool.
I'm like
No, there are
it's a
millions of
habit.
people.
It's a habit. I'm looking at him smiling. I'm looking
right,
at her
go.
beautiful face. I apologize,
All right.
but
Yes.
because I'm telling them the story about how I recognized who you were. So
Oh shit!
this was at the Oval. We're sitting there. This is a
They don't
very
know what Oval is.
like the White House,
White House
the
Oval
conference
Situation
room, the
Room.
Situation Room.
Yeah. And you're
And
sitting
I'm
like
sitting
in front of me.
across from you,
Yeah.
over
Across
to
on the left.
over to the left.
Yeah.
And the director comes in and says, okay, so we're going to do a wild spot, which means let's just do something funny. Everybody, just chaos, complete
Yeah.
chaos, and just
He said,
whatever.
yeah.
And he jumps up from his seat and gestures. And I'm like, aha! Curb Your Enthusiasm. And that was so funny
No,
to
so
me.
you were, wait, what did you play? What was your role?
Secretary of State.
And I was Homeland
That's
Director,
right. That's right.
And until that moment,
Right.
we were like, I've seen you before,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we weren't really talking,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then after that scene, you were
After
like,
that,
ha, I know
that's
you.
who it is.
And then we went to lunch.
No, that scene,
Right?
because I'm a huge, huge Larry David fan. I wanted to be on Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's one of the shows I wish I was on because I just love comedies. And he's just so funny. It's like everybody knows someone like him.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
my best friend's husband, Kenneth Panzer, is Larry David. Like
Yeah.
that same, no self-aware whatsoever. no sensing, there's no sensory perception, nothing. And so, but
when you see the things, when I shot that, exactly what you said, Larry David is Larry David.
Right.
He's not playing a role or anything,
No.
you know? And I don't think he even changed a costume, to a costume or anything. He just walks on the set.
From home.
From home, yeah, get off the car, and just walk on the set and do the role. Boom, it's done, it's finished.
Wow.
Right? So I remember that scene. I'm sure the most of the scene on that show is there's no script. It's all ad lib.
Yeah, a
Right.
lot of improvisation.
A lot of improv, and
Mhm.
basically the writers and directors, producers, they all come to you and say, okay, so we're going from here,
Right.
point A to point B.
Right.
Just go and see what happens,
And that's
And
it.
then you do whatever, and then they'll like whisper in your ear, like, maybe you what about this? What about that? And give you some ideas.
Right.
It's like an improv,
Yes,
school.
yes, and you just run
And
with
it's fun. It's fun. As
That-
an actor, it's the most fun you ever had.
That's such
You
a
know?
great scene. And I guess maybe you're a little more humble than I thought you were. Because I was
Why?
shocked because when I said, you must have that on your reel, right? You're like, no, I don't have that on my reel. Because I think when people see you as like an action star or Secret Service or an agent, they picture you a particular, and that
You could tell
episode-
it was me.
so
Well-
funny, so funny.
Well, let me get to you as
Okay.
an actress. First of all, when I saw your name, Liz Benoit,
And you pronounce that perfect.
merci. Now,
Tu parles français, Sonny?
un peu?
Un peu.
So wait, it's French, right? So where does that come from? Is that a real name, or is that your acting name?
No, that's my
Family
given name. That's my family name.
Okay.
And I kept it. And sorry,
So
I
where
always
are
told
you
my
from
husband I was
originally
doing it.
then?
I
From
was
Louisiana
born
or
in
no?
Brooklyn, New York.
And it's Benoit.
And Benoit have family in Haiti and the Dominican Republic.
Ah, DR, okay.
So, but
so
I
your
was
parents
born in
came?
Brooklyn.
So your parents came to Brooklyn or no?
I was born in Brooklyn. They lived they lived all over the place. They were in New York, they were in Chicago, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, you name it. They were
Okay.
all over the place. But yeah, and when I met my husband and we got married, I kind of told him, look,
I'm gonna keep your.
he said, shoot, if I could change mine to yours, I would, because Williams is just such a common last name.
But you didn't hyphenate it, right?
Well, you know what? On some there's some things that it's hyphenated, but as far as my actor,
Acting, okay.
yeah, I just keep Benoit.
So you're born and raised in Brooklyn then?
Born and raised in Brooklyn,
And
New
when
York.
when did you catch this bug?
You know, I was always an athlete,
Okay. What did you do?
and I was a tomboy. Let me just put it this way. I
Okay.
loved running, skateboarding. I remember in school in Brooklyn, there were what you call the fence race. We had these real tall fences on the schoolyard, and get ready, set, go. Whoever got to the top, we go to White Castle or something.
Right.
But so I was always just that
You were
type of
escaping from the
kid.
school, cut school, right? That's what you were
Never,
doing,
never,
right? Oh,
never,
yeah.
never,
Okay.
never.
And
That's
White
so funny.
Castle,
White
can't you just go
Castle. Oh
to
my
Burger
God.
King or
No,
McDonald's or something?
no. There's nothing like White Castle. I miss that so much.
Oh my
I
God.
love White Castle.
Really?
But I thought, maybe it was going to be something dealing with athletics. But then I had a teacher.
Mm.
Her name was Mrs. Bettendorf.
Okay.
I can't make
Is
this up.
that
I can't make this up.
which play did you get that name from?
No, her name is Miss Bettendorf. That was her
Mm.
name. And I just remember she really inspired me as far as the arts. She would sing during class whenever she was talking about the
So this
lessons.
is in high school?
This is in like
Elementary school.
elementary
Wow.
school,
Okay.
like very, very young. And she was, and then music, always played music in the house. But then dancing is something I've always loved too. I love the arts, period. I love everything about it. And
Mm.
and I didn't know, it's almost like you don't know you can do something until somebody, like I didn't know I could run fast until I chased a guy who stole something from me.
Okay.
And I chased him down and I
Okay.
caught, and then somebody said, "Oh my God, you can run, you should run track." And when you're young, you think you're invincible. There's nothing you can't do.
Okay.
But dancing and singing has always been just a part of me. My mom played music in the house. She played
What's your
Mireille Mathieu, which is a French singer. And we'd hear that all the time. And
Mm.
Nat King Cole, we'd
Cool.
hear that all the time. And my brother and I, my older brother, we would enter dance competitions together. So it's almost like
Really?
you're doing it, you think you're good at it until somebody says, "You know what? You're really good at that. Maybe you should."
So dance, as in like from South America, it's like cha-cha and
My mom she's gotten several trophies from doing the merengue, the
merengue.
salsa, all
Wow.
of that. And it's not, to her, it was just a natural thing. It wasn't, she didn't go to school for it. She
Right.
she was
It's a
gifted
cultural
that
thing.
way.
Grew
Exactly.
up that way.
Exactly.
And then you
Exactly.
went to what? Acting school, or how did you?
I took, let me just put it this way. I
Yes.
took my acting from where I can afford it.
Okay.
So when I
In
lived in
Brooklyn?
New York, in
Okay.
Brooklyn, there were teachers who taught, just my neighborhood wasn't a rich neighborhood. So he kind of just taught us for free, just to get the kids who just had so much going on and wanted to do so much and got bored easily. You would go to his class, and then it became a thing during the summer.
Mm.
So during the summer, that's where I wanted to go. It was just this big open space, and we got to do plays. And
Mm.
then it was just going to classes. Like I said, I don't want to talk about sad things, but
Right.
so I'm going to avoid certain things and why I
Why?
didn't get a chance
Because I'm sure
to.
there are a lot of people. Maybe there's nobody watching this anyway, but
That's not true.
yeah,
People are
hopefully some
watching
people
this.
are watching
People are
this,
watching. Oh,
listening to you,
wow.
right? What?
This is round.
Yes, that's
It's a
for
round
whiskey.
ice.
Special,
See, I wouldn't
right?
know
Special
that.
ice for whiskey.
I wouldn't know that.
Would you?
But
Would,
this
you're
is,
not gonna have
this
a
is
sip
so
of this, are you?
fancy.
This is a very special Japanese whiskey.
It looks
Yes,
beautiful.
but I'm gonna
If
have.
Kevin was here, he'd have some.
Oh, you should have
But
brought 'em. But this
but
is
this is
special
beautiful.
water from
Well, I'll take it.
the LA Tap Company. Or
Yeah, I'm getting a little tipsy from it already. Look at that. But I had no idea this was
No, it's not tap
fancy
water. Don't worry.
ice. This is
It's a
fancy.
special water, right, Kenya? She's nodding. He's nodding. It's a special water. Yep. So anyway,
I'm afraid now.
that's what we're talking about. Going back to what we're talking about now. So there are people like, hey, you know what? I want to get into acting in Hollywood, or struggling right now. But
Yeah.
how can I get to that next level?
Yeah.
As we all are, trying to think about that.
Yep.
I mean, sharing some hardship Might be a good idea, you
Okay.
know?
Well,
If you don't mind.
I don't mind, and I think I might have shared some with you when we
Mm.
were working together.
Mm.
Is that I came from a family that, my father in particular,
Mm.
he was feared by us all. We were like just terrified of my father. I call him my biological father, but anyway,
Mhm.
he's no longer with
I mean,
us.
but, you know, during our period, during our decade, I guess, generation, right? We were all like, we had the matriarch of the family who was a father who was feared, and whatever he said goes,
Well, it was,
right?
but it wasn't just that. If it was
Okay.
just that,
Sorry.
if it was just that, it's, you
You
know,
can deal
that's
with
the
that?
way it is.
Okay.
I'm talking like
Here,
terror.
you can hold on
You want me to
that.
hold it?
Yeah.
I can. Okay,
At
is
least
this
you can
this way
pretend.
or that way?
Are you serious? Are you
I'm
serious?
sorry.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
There you go. There you go.
This way.
You can pretend, yeah?
I'm an
Okay.
actor. I can do this. So, and
So,
and
tell
I
me
see people do
something.
this all the tap tap or
Yeah.
whatever.
You don't
Okay.
need to do that. It's
All
fine.
right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so going back to
So
it.
this is what it is, huh?
Mm, yeah.
Okay. So now this
No,
is
this is, I think this is Nicaragua wrapper.
people smell it like
Smells good, right?
it doesn't smell like I thought it would.
What do you think it smells
I
like?
don't know. I thought it would smell more like cigarettes or tobacco-y
It
or
is tobacco. It's
but it
pure
doesn't
tobacco.
but it
This
almost
one
smells
cigar.
floral, like floral.
Yeah. It all have, you know, they all have a different flavor,
Okay.
right? So this one is more spicy
Ah.
and a little bit fuller when you smoke it. It's much more bold.
So would you call it an acquired taste or
The
like
cigar is acquired taste, and also,
it smells lovely
yeah.
actually. It smells like very fragrant.
But the only thing is, you know, when you have, I mean, one cigar equals to like 50 cigarettes in nicotine.
Seriously.
Yeah, but you don't inhale it, so you never supposedly get a nicotine in your lung or
You
tar.
don't inhale it
You just put it in your mouth.
and then let it out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So actually, the nicotine goes into your tongue. Through your tongue, it goes into your bloodstream, and that's how you get the nicotine in your system.
Wow.
Right? So instead of getting lung cancer, you can have gum cancer or tongue or so. You know.
That's not that great either.
Oh, okay.
Shoot. Instead of getting lung cancer, you can
Yes.
have gum cancer. None of it's
Which one would
good.
you like?
None of it's good. But I suppose,
Yes.
but then again, you just said one of this equals 50 cigarettes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was about to say, well, you know, one cigar, it's not something someone does that often. It's just a once in a while thing. But it's literally
Exactly.
like you had 50
50
cigarettes.
cigarettes in nicotine wise, you know, but it doesn't have like a, you know, when you smoke a cigarette, you're smoking paper, right? And the
Mm,
chemical in the tar.
right.
Supposedly, if it's a good cigar, you don't
Okay.
have any chemical, you don't have any tar.
I see.
So you can, it's supposed to be a little bit more healthier.
Got you.
Maybe healthier. Maybe that's, I don't know if that's the right word or not. But
If
anyway,
that works for you,
okay, thank you.
you continue believing that. But okay, but
Okay.
I am surprised, and it does smell.
Hmm.
It's actually smells really nice.
Good.
Yeah.
So Liz,
So I'll move on
yes,
to what we
please.
were saying.
Yes.
It's not. It wasn't your typical strict dad. I need you to do this. I
Mm.
need you to be home at this time. I need you to do that. It was more like I will crack a rib,
Mm.
or I'll possibly send you to the hospital. And
Shit.
so let me just like that.
Okay.
So people who know me and my brothers and also knew, you know, they're like shocked that we're like still
Alive?
maybe
Really?
not alive, but not.
Maimed.
Yeah, that's
So
that's
are
a
you
good
are
that's
you
a good way to say it.
are you the oldest?
I'm in
Or
the middle.
you're in the middle.
I'm in the
Okay.
middle. I have my younger brother who left home very early and went into the military,
Okay.
like as soon as he could.
Okay.
And that did some damage to him. But the reason he left was due to the abuse he just had to get away. He went away, but being in the military as long as he has, seen the things that he's seen,
Mm.
you know, suffering from PTSD and
yeah.
all sorts of other things. And then you have my other brother, my
Who's
older
older?
brother,
Okay.
my older brother, who he was probably abused the most.
Mm.
And I never understood why until much later on in life. Come to find out he was my half brother. So my biological father abused him so much because he wasn't his kid.
I see.
So
Sad. Yeah,
I think
that's
I was
tough,
telling
man.
it is.
Yeah.
Last year I had retina eye surgery.
Mm.
I call it my bionic eye now.
Mm.
But it was due to when we were kids, my older brother had a slingshot and he just flung it, not purposefully trying to
something the
hurt
kids
me.
just do,
Not
right?
purposefully trying to
Yeah.
hurt me. It hit my right eye and I was blind in that eye.
Really?
I was blind in the eye and he begged me not to tell. But I'm like, I have to. I'm crying. I'm like, I have to tell because it's, it's my eye. But
Right.
he was begging me not to tell because he knew what.
He's gonna get in trouble. Yeah.
But I had to.
Right.
So went to the doctor. I remember my grandmother being with me. Went to Kings County Hospital in Brooklyn. They did what they said, I'll have some vision
Mm.
back. I did gradually get some vision back, but it was never great.
Mm.
And I read a lot. And last year, I don't know, I was like, what's going on? It's like, do I need new glasses? I'm not seeing anything, barely.
Mm.
Go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, no, Liz, you need to go see someone, a specialist.
Yeah.
So go there, and they're like, you need retina surgery right away. Because the retina, picture it like it's stuck like this. This is the retina. It was like this, meaning just
It's
a
torn
little
open?
bit more. That's it.
Ah.
So doctor got it when it was like right about here.
Yeah.
And
They sort it back together. Is that what happened?
what happens is, now I did not know about this. This is going to freak you out what you have to do.
What?
There's a couple of different ways to repair retina. And unfortunately, the way I had it was, and the doctor said to me, this is going to be the hardest part for you because you literally have to be like this.
Look
You
down.
take 1 hour a day
Mm-hmm.
to eat, shower, or whatever. But basically, you're like this. And then you get what you call like a donut. Like if you're sleeping, because you're sleeping like this.
Right.
Let's
Like when
do
you go
this.
to the masseuse or something, and you go.
That's
Right?
it.
Yeah.
And the reason you stay like that is because there's a bubble in the eye.
Right.
And you want the bubble to stay in place. You don't want it to move. That's why you can't fly for like 3 months after retina surgery.
Because of the
The
pressure.
pressure.
Right.
So being like this all the time, like that was,
Wait. So how long after the surgery? How long do you have to do that?
it was 8, 9 weeks.
What?
It was a long time. It was a long time.
Oh.
That was harder than anything else. I remember after the surgery, Kevin's like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Mm.
I went and looked. It was like watching a horror movie. All I saw was red. It was
Really?
just like blood, like blood.
Damn.
You don't see nothing else, just blood. And you keep wondering, how is that ever going to look normal again?
Right. Mm.
So,
All right, let's come back. Come
okay.
back. All right, so we're
You
talking.
took me there. I'm going to
No.
Mia,
Wait.
Mia, you better talk to him, okay?
So come back to.
Let's come back.
Acting.
Let's talk about,
Can we go? Kenyon's like, what the hell?
He's like, what are you doing here? We're supposed to talk happy things.
No. That was good that you had to go through this like hardship, and then your dad. We
already
went
talked
over
about
that,
him.
and then your surgery. Now go back to acting. We're going back to
Okay.
acting. You're an actor.
Acting.
You do acting in movies, film, and movies, film, film and TV, and also you do voice acting too, right?
Yes,
Yeah. What?
I love it so
No,
much.
so how did you get involved in this? I mean, training wise, what'd you do? Because I came into this world later than most people, right? You don't know about this, do you? Yes, you do.
No, what? You said you started because I remember you were
I was in investment banking and
investment,
finance
right?
stuff
And
like that.
then you found your calling, because I think this
Exactly.
is
And
your
I had my
calling,
call. I heard it, but I
but you
didn't
didn't want
really
to
listen.
listen.
Right.
That's what it was.
So, when I first got back into this or got serious about this,
Right.
I wanted to make sure that nobody can say, "Oh yeah, he's in this business because he produced this or he got involved with this. He knew some people, whatever." So I went back into, going back to school at East West Players and Strasbourg and all the, method acting classes and shit like that. Okay. How did you? I mean, when did you do that? When did you start doing that, or did
Well,
you do that?
again, not exactly like that. I
Mm.
was always doing plays as I was in high school.
Mm.
And when I graduated high school, I got into a school I wanted to go to. And at the time, my biological father, I remember him saying, I'm going to make this happen. If your grades are,
Up to par.
I got you. My grades were, it's time to go. He's like, I never said that.
Oh,
So that was, and it was during a time where my family didn't have a lot of money. So I was just taking classes wherever classes were available. That was just my way of learning.
and
Whoever was teaching a class, who I'd looked up, who I liked over here was Ivana Chubbuck, I think.
mm,
Went there. As far as voiceovers are concerned, I'm always making, there's always people living in my head. I'm always with these different, and one day
so
someone,
when did you come out from East Coast to here,
oh my gosh,
and why?
came here for the business and before that, I was in Miami
Right.
also. I lived in Miami. That's where I met Kevin.
Right. You told me about that.
Yeah, was in Miami, came here from Miami
Mm.
because this is where the business was. I actually wanted to go back to New York.
To do what?
Theater.
Yeah.
He wanted to come here to do film or television. So you had that situation happening.
Mm.
But I'm like, you know what? Okay. Came here, and I remember the first week or so of being here, he got a job. Someone offered him a job being a first, because he used to be a second assistant director,
Mhm.
of being a first assistant director. He was so nervous, and I was scared to death. I didn't know anyone here. It just
Right.
seemed like so weird. But then
So you just picked up your bags and just said, "Let's move to LA."
we
When you didn't have any
sold our
job.
home. I was working for a law firm. I worked as an
Mhm.
interpreter for a long time. Sure, there's acting in Miami, but not so much.
Right.
A lot of industrials, but most of the industrials I was doing were in Atlanta. I'd go to Atlanta a lot.
Right.
But when we moved here, he was, I think at the time, he was offered a job on X-Files,
Oh.
maybe. I'm trying to remember. It's so
Okay.
long ago. But then he got a break where somebody felt strongly enough that he could handle being a first. And I know he was terrified, but I pushed him. He goes, but we just got here. You don't know anyone. And it's just like me and my daughter at the time. We don't know anybody.
Right.
And it's like, we're only here for a few months, but I'm like, you got to go. So I pushed him.
Mm.
And I'm glad I did. I'm
So
glad I did.
Kevin should be grateful to you. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I said that.
Kevin's coming as a guest
Yeah.
next week, right?
Like I care. Let him come. He's going to tell you the same thing.
Okay.
But
Okay,
all I'm
cool.
saying is sometimes
Yeah.
we have to do what makes us scared. We do that in this business.
That's why
all
maybe we
the
were
time.
addicted to that. Right?
I don't think we're necessarily narcissists
Mm.
but it's just even when we don't get the job and we're like, oh my God, I could have had this. I'm done. And we do it again.
Okay.
We get up, brush ourselves off. This last year,
Yeah.
as far as work-wise for
Yeah.
me, was the worst. That was
Yeah.
my worst. My worst year was
The
last
funny
year.
thing is I was just talking to my agent this morning. I had coffee with him.
Okay.
And one of the things is until...
Hit me.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. No, so until 2020, until the COVID hit,
Uh-huh.
I was on all these shows and, big guest stars and stuff like
Right.
that. So I
Thank you.
remember having a meeting with her, my agent, and we were talking about, what's our next step? What we're going to do, the series regular, blah, 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 bigger roles and shit like that in movies. Then COVID hit, and during 2020, I did, couple, that was Curb, right? Curb,
Oh, yeah.
Jim, NCIS
Yes.
Hawaii, and things like that. And it was okay. It was
Right.
okay guest role, guest star role. And after that, boom. And then last year, I did few shows, but all the shows, like Paradise, was like teeny tiny shows.
There's no such thing as a small
You
part,
keep saying,
Sonny.
gotta remember that on the
There's no
set.
such thing. No, I'm a true believer of
Yeah.
that, though.
You kept telling me that. I was like, what
It's
the
true.
hell am I doing
There's
here?
no,
It's like,
no.
remember that?
And you fought for that one word you had to say,
Oh
too.
my God.
You fought for that.
No,
But
so
the thing is, you didn't have to fight for it because they knew it was important. And that's what
well,
I
we'll
was.
see on episode 7. Maybe
Is it
they have
7?
cut it off.
Is it? I
Well,
doubt.
so
I
those
doubt
people
it.
that if they don't know about what we're talking about. Well, there was a couple of things, a couple issues, right? Remember on that oval,
Yes.
we had what's his name, Madsen,
Oh my God.
who plays president,
Oh my God. James
James Madsen,
Madison. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
right? And he goes around asking questions to each cabinet members.
Right.
And I was like the second or third. Remember that?
Right. I do remember that.
And
I
I'm
do
supposed to
remember
say
that.
my line.
Yes.
Then the president's supposed to go, stop, I know that. I just want yes or no.
I remember.
Go or no go. Come on, right?
That's it.
Kind of
I
things like
remember
that,
that.
right? So-
I remember that.
But he kept cutting me into,
Yes.
maybe before my line or in between my lines. And
That was so
And I was like, what the-
frustrating. You look so frustrated, but that's
I couldn't say anything.
understandable.
He was like number 2 or number 3 on the show.
I know.
Right?
That was so
So what do
frustrating.
you do? What do you do?
I thought you handled it well, actually. No, seriously. I mean, it is
I told
frustrating.
you about that, right?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. But I think when it got into, was it Gary or Kevin? I'm not sure if it was Gary or Kevin.
Mm.
Of
That
whether or
director?
not that line, and they finally, you were able to do it. Because I also thought that line was kind of important.
No, so I mean, that line, go, no-go thing, I actually talked to him and the president, said, would you like me to not say the line, or what would you like me to do?
That was well
And he
done.
just-
Well done.
But he kind of like, okay, fine. Something like that.
Did he
Yeah.
he talk to you that way?
So that was that one scene. And then the second scene, I remember, who was the other actor we were hanging out with?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so bad with names. I see his face, but I can't
here.
remember his name right.
Here we go. Scott.
Oh,
Remember
oh,
Scott?
Scott Lawrence. Actually,
He was-
he's in the first episode.
Yeah.
No, he should have been up there. Oh wow, that's such an old picture. of
I
him.
know. Don't
was a-
say that. Hey.
No, I'm just saying that's one of his earlier on photos.
Yes.
I wish he had something more current out. I mean, it's still a great
Well, you should
photo.
tell him that.
I will.
Okay.
I'll call him later today.
Okay.
You think he
No,
cares?
but
That
he
man
was
works a lot.
I know, but
You don't
he
need me to
was
tell him
great. We
nothing.
were like hanging
He
out with him. We were
was-
talking about him.
Scott was, he's fabulous.
So remember that last
Fabulous.
scene where we had
Great
that
actor.
elevator scene?
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
So we run over to the elevator, and the head of Secret Service, I guess,
Uh-huh.
she takes everybody into the elevator, and that one line, I say something like, "We'll take the next elevator,"
Yes,
or something like that.
That's so
We'll
funny,
take-
though.
Go
I'll
ahead.
I'll take the next one.
So we're doing this like scene over and over again,
Mhm.
right? Like third or fourth take.
Fifth or
I'm doing
sixth
it like
take.
I'm scared of
Yes,
what's going on.
Yes.
And I just like reluctantly tell her, like, go ahead. And then the director goes, okay, let's try,
You
like
being
more-
more like you're not afraid of
you're not
anything.
afraid of shit
And
now.
you did that.
Yeah, no,
You
as
did
soon
it.
as the director said that,
Yes.
Scott goes, that's what I told him.
Oh, shit.
Remember
Did
that?
Scott say that?
Yeah.
I didn't hear him.
Yeah, he didn't say anything. He was just like making goofing
Oh,
off.
he was making fun of you.
Yeah, I was
That
like,
is
what the
hilarious.
fuck?
That is,
You know, it's
yeah,
like, you can't
Scott
say
is
that.
so freaking.
He was so funny.
He's so
Oh,
good too.
he
He's
goes,
so
what? That's what I told him. It's like, what?
damn. Yeah, he's one of those people you.
No, so that was,
Mm,
so like, when you go on a set as a guest star or co-star, right?
mhm.
And of course, like on TV shows, there are, I mean, all the cast is like a team, a family. Right?
Yes.
And you're going in to somebody's house
Yes.
as a guest, or just to hang out for like
Dropping
maybe
you in. Right.
maybe a couple hours, maybe,
Right. Right.
and they have their own chemistry, right? And
Absolutely.
it's kind of tough, isn't it?
You know what? It is tough, but
Mm.
it's really up to you.
Here you go.
It's
A
up to
positive
you.
thinking.
I've always,
Liz, the
I'm that
positive.
way. I'm
Yeah.
that way. But it's the same thing that I noticed with you.
What?
And, once you got to know who you were,
Mm.
because at first you see this tall,
What?
he comes in with all this ego.
Wait,
But,
what?
no, I'm just
What?
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. It's just a matter of sitting down and talking to someone, which is what we did, which was great because I think day one,
Mm.
we all went in that little corner and we sat together.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
not
So that's when I
Scott,
start talking to Scott at that time.
at Scott. And
Yeah.
when I saw him, I mean,
Mm.
again, I think he's brilliant, and I
Mhm.
wanted to tell him that. That's the other thing. I've seen your work. You're great. I'm
Mhm.
happy to be here with you. It makes me feel like I'm part of something really
Mm.
good when you're sitting around with a bunch of
And I think
really good people.
you remember when we went to shoot at supposedly the White House?
Yes.
We were in the same big
Yes.
room with Scott,
Cold. It
and
was
also
cold, remember?
no, it was
hot.
hot.
It was hot.
What are you talking about?
It was
We
hot.
had that whole
Yes.
thing
Oh,
blowing, and
that's
air
right.
conditioning
That's
blowing.
right. It was hot.
But
The
we had
fans.
also Sterling there, and everybody number 1,
Yes.
2, and 3 there, right?
Yes.
And we were all hanging out together,
Yes.
and that was fun. We were just like, they were not pretentious, but we also felt that number 1 and number 2 was not getting along. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
like the
Because
little
you
peanut.
kind of,
and also that
we
kind
dished a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, that is true because you
We were
can see
dissing
it.
everyone like
Not everyone. You
No,
were
you were
dissing
dissing
everyone.
everyone.
You were the disser in chief.
Liz. We
No.
all know that that's your MO. Yeah.
He called me racist.
You were
No,
dissing
we had-
everyone.
I love,
Mm.
like I said, I love to laugh, and you're able to find humor if you sit around and
No,
you
you were
observe.
making fun of Asian people, weren't you?
No, he did that crap. He did that crap, and he said it out loud
Ah.
as I'm standing there amongst Asian actors. He said that.
It's okay.
Oh my
It's okay.
God! You look.
We told him.
Look.
We told him.
Look, Mia.
told him.
Mia
It's
lives
fine.
with you, so she knows you're full of it right now. Okay, so.
No.
But you have to find the humor.
Yeah.
You have
'Cause
to.
they were
It can't be
we
so
were waiting for
serious.
so long, right?
It can't
There's
be
a
so
lot,
serious.
A lot of waiting. So, I mean, I remember you had the wig. Did you have that hair underneath it? No.
I had to braid it down,
You did.
and then it's longer now since I saw you, but you
Right.
braid it down, and then you put the pixie wig. So, again, and again,
Look at me. I look different too, right?
yeah, you do.
I didn't have
Not
this
in a
gray at
bad
the time,
way.
though.
You didn't even have that gray.
No, you know why? Because I
Mia.
can't. No, yeah, exactly. I didn't say it. No, you remember? So I'm like, we were talking about what we did last year. So there was a shoot last November, I think, and then December I shot twice for this
Yep.
one show.
And that's not the one they pushed, though, right?
That's the hair that they wanted me
That's
to
what
have.
they
The gray
wanted.
hair. I'm playing. I don't think I signed an NDA, so I can talk about it. I
Okay.
think it's okay. No.
Okay.
I'm playing a butler. Okay.
Okay. But a
And
butler who could kick some butt.
but yeah, no.
No? Okay. All
No,
right.
so that wasn't even funny. Okay, so yeah, I'm playing house manager / butler, right?
Mhm.
For Kim Kardashian's,
Okay.
right? And it's the show is
Oh, that's where she's
the
playing
Ryan
an
Murphy,
attorney or something.
and
Ryan
it's
Murphy.
a law firm, all female law firm
Yep.
that specializes in the family law, which
Everyone's
is divorce law,
talking
right?
about this
Really?
show. Yeah.
So I'm playing this the butler. I have to play with the gray hair, and I had a beard, and they told me to cut it off, so I did.
Okay. So
I
it's
shaved it off.
reoccurring for you?
No, well, it's possible recurring, but
Okay.
it's tiny, tiny, tiny
There's
roll.
no such
Here we
thing
go.
as a tiny roll.
So I had this hair, and I can't cut it.
There
They're
you
gonna
go.
cut it probably. So we were supposed to shoot on January 4th or something like that,
And that
but
didn't
because of
happen
fire,
because
it
of the
extended.
fire.
And it went to the 9th and then extended. Now I'm shooting next week
Right.
for the final scene.
Wow.
So now then I can color my hair and cut my hair and do whatever. Because
Wow.
I can't audition for anything else. You know?
No.
But this year I was
You're
talking to my
stuck.
agent today, as I was saying, and she said, you know, everything is just so slow,
Everything.
right?
Everything.
Because I haven't had anything
Everything.
this year yet.
A lot of
Right.
commercial auditions.
You have, but I did 2 commercials, but with gray hair, I
Yeah.
don't know.
A lot of
I don't know whether I
commercials.
should keep
I
this.
mean, well, I think when you're done, you don't keep it.
No.
No.
Okay.
It's just my opinion. What I say don't mean nothing.
No, it doesn't mean nothing.
But
Yeah.
again,
But there are, how many Asian actors of my age have you seen with the gray hair? None.
What? Give me a minute.
None.
Give me a second. Okay, none.
So, right? Maybe I should keep it like as one of a
Something
kind.
different.
You know?
Well, you know, and most Asian actors aren't 6'3" either. So
6'2", thank you.
okay,
Maybe
excuse me,
6'1" now because
6'2".
I'm too old now. You know.
But so you have that advantage,
Mm.
right? But
But let me ask you this though, in that same subject,
mhm,
as a minority actor,
right?
as you black female actors,
Yes,
the roles are very limited, aren't they?
it is.
Right? It's like a double-edged sword. People
It
say, well,
is.
you know what? There are many other Asian male actors, like you said, was 6'1", right?
Mhm.
But because of that, there aren't many competition, maybe. But at the same time, there aren't many roles
That's
that
true.
calls for that, right? Do you experience that as well?
I experienced that, and I keep hoping. I keep
Mm.
hoping that it won't be a situation they're looking for a black person for this, or they're looking for an Asian person for this. You come in, they have everybody read for it. Okay, Asian, white, black. You know, I know.
Do I
Again,
want to
I'm
get
an
into this
optimist.
DEI thing or
Oh
what?
snap! Oh,
You don't want to
didn't
talk
go
about politics,
there.
you said,
didn't
right?
want to
But
go there. Don't go there.
okay.
But anyway,
uh,
no. But I
okay.
guess my point is.
But let me ask you this about that. I mean, okay, go ahead. You
No,
finish.
because I was going to say
Okay.
there's one thing I love that about my agent, and I'm talking for commercials. This is commercials now. Sometimes, like, it'll say, and she just does it. They're looking. It says male. I
You
swear
go
to
to
you.
mail?
I swear to you, it'll say
Oh,
male.
no.
She'll send me,
Really?
and sometimes I'll book it.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like
Are you the
okay.
only one when you go there? Obviously, it's female, right? Because it's
There
called
was
for male.
one. There was yeah. I remember it was a commercial for. What's that?
Don't
Do you
tell
want
me
to
there's
get
a-
away? Do you want to get away? What's that? Do you want to get away? Airline commercial. Airlines.
Airbnb? No.
Southwest.
Southwest
Want to
Airlines.
get away?
Okay, thank you.
They wanted 2 detectives, right?
Right.
2 male detectives.
Male.
They wanted 2 male detectives. Well,
But-
guess what? They ended up with a male and a
But
female
let me ask
detective.
you this. I mean, as an actor, you can play anything.
You should be.
You should be able to, right?
So you're saying I could have.
No,
gone
no,
in
but the
there.
thing is, I've always felt, I'm sorry to say, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who will disagree with me,
Mhm.
but if I play Shakespeare
Okay.
and I'm playing,
Othello.
Othello
Okay.
or Hamlet or
Okay.
even Romeo,
Okay.
if I see an Asian Romeo coming down the, talking to Juliet on the balcony, I go, what the fuck is that? Right? I'm sorry. I mean, you can play. I would love to play it.
Okay.
But if I'm an audience paying fucking, excuse my language, if I'm paying good money to see this show, I go, what the hell? You know, it doesn't
So
work
you're
for
not
me.
going to buy it.
But so, for example, if you're a great actress and your agent sends you to a commercial audition that says all male, and you get there and it's an ED commercial, right? You know what that is?
What's that? Electro. I mean, wait a minute. Wait.
You don't know what ED is?
Wait. Oh, come on.
But you can play.
Really?
Would you?
Hell no.
No, right, exactly.
What is wrong with you?
Right.
Okay,
so
you
it's
didn't
the
have to
same
go.
thing,
But,
right? Don't you think so?
No, but anyway, I have to say, and a casting director did say this to me.
Yes.
My category is truly the hardest.
What is that?
It's a very, there's a lot of competition. There's like if I show up, there's like 90 of me. You know, there's so many really great, like the age range, that my category in particular, age, look.
Really?
So whenever I get a job, Sonny, I'm very humble about it because it's hard. It's hard.
It is hard. That's why you keep saying no role is small.
It's
Too
true.
small, right?
It's so hard. One year when I first signed with Abrams, which is no longer around, we won't even get into that.
It's called ABA or something.
Arise.
Oh,
and I booked the most commercials I'd ever booked in my life when I left the manager I had. That was a whole other horrible thing. I kept
There's
booking.
a lot of horrible stories.
Yes, there is. But there's good ones too.
All right. Okay.
I booked so many jobs one year and I had to like take a pause and pinch myself. Like I couldn't believe this was happening. But I also have to say, yeah, it's great right now. That doesn't mean it's always going to be that way.
Right.
So that year was great. I take it in. I appreciate it. Last year, garbage.
So it's like it's a double-edged sword, right? Like you have a lot of competition.
Yes.
But there are a lot of roles for that because of that.
That's true.
In my case, there aren't many roles.
That's different for you.
So it's funny because
I think it's worse for you.
Well, yeah, it is to a certain extent, but most of the roles that I get in the last 4 or 5 years, maybe 10 years, are roles that's like doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. You know?
Yes.
Like you said, detective or doctor.
Yes.
You know.
Not that there's anything wrong with
like
those.
when I did many years ago when I first broke into acting and I got everybody goes through the soap route, right? Like,
yes.
I did,
Which one? All My Children? Young and the Restless?
I've done Young and the Restless. I did Days of Our Lives. I did like 5 shows on Days of Our Lives and different characters.
Right. I know. That's so funny.
God.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And what's the other one? I don't like so many. But for example, Days of Our Lives, when I first got there, my character name was Dr. Gaines. Right?
Okay.
I don't look like Dr. Gaines. It was meant for Caucasian.
Okay.
But they gave me the role.
But did they change the name? Or they
No,
kept
they didn't.
The name?
They didn't.
Okay.
They didn't. So, talk about changing the name. So, I was shooting Kim Kardashian's All Is Fair, right? On the first take, Kim comes home. I'm the butler.
Okay.
And I say, your husband is on his way, or whatever. And then she gives me the key and says, thank you, Franco, or something. My name, my butler name. I don't look like Franco. So, after the first take, Ryan Murphy and Kim, they're like conference.
Yes.
The next thing I know, I'm like wondering, should I go over there and talk to them? And then Ryan goes, Sonny, can we change your character name to Sonny? I'm like, sure.
That works.
So now my character name is Sonny.
Okay.
But it's amazing, like when you do one
Sonny
change,
playing Sonny.
because Ryan Murphy is who he is, right? Next thing I know, I go back to my trailer. You know the names in the trailer?
Yes.
It says Sonny now, right? Instead of my old
Right.
Franco character name. And then I get a call from my agent, goes, I guess your character name has changed to Sonny, so you need to sign a new contract.
Oh.
So everything is all different now, It's like just
Wow.
because it's one change,
You have
you
to.
know?
Wow.
But anyway, so yeah, I did change the name to Sonny for that character, but the Dr. Gaines initial one, I mean, I kept that one.
They kept it.
And I kept like, there was another character that I play, Indian poker player. So I forgot my name was. It was an Indian name.
An Indian
Yeah.
poker player.
So-
Okay. All
So
right.
in that aspect, you can play.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
an actor, you can play anything you want. But like going back like Shakespeare and stuff like that, you really.
You're just not doing it. Huh?
Do you think?
So did you
Can
like Hamilton? Did you see the play?
Yes, yes. But the thing is, funny thing is, it's just a great production,
Mm-hmm.
and it's great
Musical.
for what it is.
Right.
It's
It's a
not a
musical.
historical piece.
It's a musical,
Right?
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my daughters are like really into it, knows all
Right. Oh, know all the
songs, like,
words.
yeah, exactly. And then recently, I just took my youngest, Julia. She's in acting. She saw. Oh, I took her to see Wicked,
Okay.
and she knows
Please.
all the songs.
So
what?
did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did
with
you?
her.
I want to see it.
You haven't
I
seen it?
do not yet, but I do want to see it. I
It's a
do want
great
to see it. Is
production.
it good?
Yeah.
Right?
It was really good.
Yeah.
The musical,
Mm.
the live
I
musical.
want to
was
see it.
really
I
good.
want to see it.
And it's amazing how these people are like really, doing this day in and day out.
Yeah.
Not recognized, And I mean, they're awesome. All these
I
actresses
have to
and
go
actors.
see it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Musicals are a lot of
Let
work.
me ask you a last question about
Sure.
what we were talking about. We're thankful that we get the job.
Absolutely.
When you don't
Absolutely.
get the job.
Oh man. And then you see the person who gets the job.
Exactly.
And that happens.
Right.
and-
But let me ask you this. Do you watch the show at all? If you don't get the role.
If I don't get it, sure. I may, if it's a show that I'm interested in seeing. You might not remember, sometimes, because I am also from the school, do it and forget it.
Mhm.
I live by that. That's
Really?
because that's the only way I feel like I can function, because there's just so much rejection. There's so much
Yeah, that's
rejection
true.
that you have to just go in. If you know that you've done everything that you could do, you've done everything you could do. Do it and forget it. Because in our business, we also know sometimes somebody gets the part because that might have been a real nice shirt. And
Right,
the casting
exactly.
director really liked that shirt.
Well, you
You know
remind
the
me
guy
of somebody.
that came in with that. Oh, she looks like my
Yeah.
such and such.
Yeah.
For the weirdest, I
Exactly.
remember. Again, it's a fickle business. It's a
Well, it's a very
strange
human
business.
right? So it's like, oh yeah, you remind me of somebody who beat me up
Yes.
in high school. So I'm not
So
gonna.
I'm not giving it to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like that,
Yeah.
and so you have to just do it and forget it.
I can't watch it though.
You can't.
No.
Sometimes I'm curious, and sometimes it's good to.
Mm.
What I remember, I read for playing a doctor
Mhm.
on the show. What's the show with Saldana where she plays military?
Kenyon.
Come on, I know. Oh, Lioness.
Mm.
Nice part.
Mhm.
So read for it. I'm her doctor. I was pinned. I was pinned.
I
That's
hate
the other
that.
thing.
Just
Pinned,
give me the fucking job,
pinned
right?
for 7 days.
Oh, I hate that.
And then I get that dreaded call, and my agent said, Liz, they released you. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
You went the other way.
Yeah. So I'm watching it because now
Yeah?
I'm curious.
Right.
I'm curious. I want to see. It happens to be a Hispanic male doctor. I feel better.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I feel better about that. Because number one, so when I was reading for the doctor, I put my hair back in a ponytail, in a bun.
Mm.
And I remember Kevin said, when he looked at it, he looked at the audition, he goes, you look like you could be Saldana's, sister, or like in from the same tribe or something. And I'm like, now, why did you tell me that after I sent it? Because maybe I'm just speculating. Maybe if I didn't wear my hair in a ponytail, because she wears her hair in a ponytail a lot on the show.
Mm.
She's Latina. I have Latin people in my. Maybe. I'm not buying it. But
So you're
anyway,
making excuses.
I'm making excuse. But
You're blaming Kevin.
but
yeah.
then, but you know what else though?
Yes.
When I watched the performance
Mm.
of the doctor,
The guy?
the guy doing it, and very similar.
Really?
Yeah, the performance was similar.
That's good.
So
Right?
again,
You
sometimes
were
it's
doing all
good.
right.
Now, if I would have watched it and
Mm.
saw somebody, I would be like, really? Really?
Right.
She wasn't even that great.
See, I don't know. Yeah, it's the same thing. I just like, oh, I would have done it this way, or that's what I can't. Like, for example,
You gotta let it go.
I don't know what I can say this, but I auditioned for Shogun many times. Right?
Okay. Oh,
It was a great show.
that's my
Won
show.
Academy Awards.
That's my
Won all these.
show.
I mean, but I haven't watched it. I mean, I did. I did a voiceover for it.
Okay, well,
know?
you were in the room. What's wrong with you?
But I couldn't watch it while I was doing the voiceover.
Okay, can I ask you something?
Yes.
What part did you read for?
I read for like 5 different
Damn.
characters. From the first,
But
Shogun who dies.
think about it this way, though,
Yes.
Sonny. You said you read for 5.
Yes.
You hear what you're saying?
Mm.
You read for 5. Why do you
No,
think?
I read for 5. I did voiceover. No, I read for like 2 or 3 characters.
Okay.
And I did the voiceover for 5 different characters.
Okay.
Right?
Why do you think you read for 3 characters?
They couldn't figure out what to do with me.
But
Right?
what?
Don't know.
No, you do know. The thing is, they see something. They see something in you. They're trying to find something for you
Thank
because
you for
they like.
massaging my ego.
I'm not massaging your ego. I'm telling you the truth.
Right. Wow.
They see something in you
Mm.
and they're like, God, I really like this guy. Let's try this. Let's try that. If they didn't care for you, you would have had one opportunity
Mm.
and that would have been it.
But don't you think, like, I mean, this might, like, alienate all the casting directors, but, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just going off.
Go ahead now.
Don't you think after so many years, they know how you can act or you cannot act? And why would you want me to, like, read for, like, a little
It's-
tiny part? They would know what I would play like or what I will do
But
with
it's
it.
not-
Or,
But it's not just the
don't
casting.
you think about that or no?
It's not just the casting director. And yes, sometimes I do think about that.
Right.
But see, the casting director calls on you
Mm.
because yes, they do know you. They know
Right.
what you can deliver.
Right.
And then they go into a room and show it to producer,
And
director,
director,
whoever
right.
the guest director is going to be that day.
Right.
And as you say, the director or the producer or the studio or the whatever will look at it and
Mm.
say, but the hair,
Right.
it's
They can
it's
change
just
that, yeah.
so much inner works.
So fickle,
Yes, I read for 911.
Yeah.
I kid you not, 12 times.
Oh, you beat me. I read for 911 maybe 4 times.
12 times. Now they call you, and my
911 Lone
agent,
Star
my
and
agent at
911.
one point
Yeah.
when because I was sporting my hair short, and me and Angela are built similarly, and it was when it was a scene where my daughter was being beat up by her, and I got a bat. I was going to do some kicking ass in that scene too, and you know how much I want to kick some ass, honey.
That's right. I
But-
wanted to talk to you about that, but we were running out of time.
I
But go
know,
ahead,
but my
please.
agent's like, oh, they said you look too much like Angela here. I'm like, well, shoot, black women, we could look different. Just give me a wig, give me something. 12 times.
Mm.
No, I'm lying. No, 9,
times,
not
okay.
12.
Do not
9
exaggerate.
times. Let me not exaggerate, even though.
Yeah.
But again, I
Favorite
know they
actor.
keep
go
calling
ahead.
on you because they want to find something for you.
Yes, I remember. I mean,
That's it.
going back to like what you're saying about casting director looking for something for you because they know, they trust in you, your
They know
ability,
you can
what have you.
deliver.
I remember a show called The Heroes. Heroes?
Heroes, yes.
My God, I auditioned for that maybe, like you said, 12 times maybe.
Wow.
The one time they flew me back from Vegas while
See,
shooting
that's why the
commercial.
number 12 was in my head because I
because
knew
of me?
you did. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Go ahead.
And I remember one time I went to the producer director meeting,
Wow.
and still I didn't get it. And then after that, every single time I go to an audition, casting director will apologize to me and says, I'm sorry, we have to call you back in. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. And we do this one. And then I remember this one producer director meeting where there's producer, there's, as you know, these episodics, there's a different
Yes.
director all the time.
Yes.
The director is sitting there, casting director, casting assistant, 3 or 4 different writers,
Yes.
producers, all that. And I do the scene. And director of the day goes, I'm not sure. And the casting director, I mean, she was a great casting director. She goes, what the hell do you want?
She said that?
She said that right in
That's
front of me.
amazing.
And then the casting assistant goes, Sonny, could you just go outside and wait? It's like, and they start yelling match, like start
I
screaming.
love it. That sounds
Oh,
like
yeah, she
that
was
sounds
fighting for
like
me,
a
you
Curb
know?
Your Enthusiasm
Oh, yeah,
situation. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
But that was,
I mean,
like, she was, and I ended up not getting anything from that show.
yeah, I'm probably never going to get 911 either. You watch. I mean, the
Oh, well,
show's
you'll
going to
get
end. I
something.
mean, 9 times though.
But
This
you know,
is
guess who's,
not for the faint of heart.
Guess-
It really
do
isn't.
you know who the producer is?
Who's the producer?
Ryan
Ryan Murphy. Yes, he
Yeah.
has like all the shows.
9 different shows or something.
All the
Yeah.
shows.
All right.
But you know, this is what you do. Every audition
Yes.
you put, it's just going to class. I'm like, this character's today. I've been an old woman in a church.
Yeah.
I've been a judge. I've been all these different characters. Take it as, okay, I'm going to put this on tape. I'm in class, you know, but they keep calling because they keep wanting to find something for you.
Well, next time, I mean, you have to come back to the show.
Even though I don't drink.
No. Well,
Alright.
maybe you'll learn how to drink.
Maybe
As
I'll
an
need
acting,
it. 2025,
yeah?
I might need it.
But, you know, so.
No politics,
No,
though.
because I want to talk to you about, you know, I really wanted to talk to you about the preparation, you know, how we do. I mean, everybody has their own
Yes.
method, right? And
Yes.
also, like, you know, the casting. I mean, the taping. It all
Yes.
changed.
It did.
Audition
It did.
process, right?
And this is going to be like that. This is the new normal because they save money that way.
yeah.
It's just a quicker thing. Just put yourself
So I want
on
to talk
tape.
about that
Yeah.
and maybe a little bit about politics, you know, next time.
Oh,
Well, Liz,
I can't. I
thank you
can't.
so
Oh,
much. Thanks
thank
for
you.
coming.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, we got to do this again.
I
So you're definitely going to come back. Maybe I'll have Kevin with you next time.
We'll see. We'll see if he wants to hang out. He might. He might. He
Does
has a
he
lot
drink?
to talk about. He'll drink. He'll
Okay.
like whatever. What is this?
This is whiskey called Hibiki, Japanese whiskey.
He'll want to try
blended.
that.
I'm sure this is a great whiskey.
He will want to try that.
And this is Yamazaki. Yamazaki is a single malt, and this is blended.
Gotcha.
You have no idea what the
Gotcha.
hell I'm talking about.
I don't know,
But it's
but
okay.
it sounds wonderful. And maybe one day I'll tell you why I don't drink. But I think I
Oh no, let's not go there.